Hello YouTubers, my name is X Factor and welcome to some Conquest Size Large on Rogue Transmission, a map I haven't played for a very long time where I'm about to go on an absolute tear with the tank as the enemy throws everything, including the kitchen sink at me, and I get one heck of an RPG shot off on a jet of all things. I didn't do my traditional breakout here. I actually went to C and wasted about 4.5 minutes because I got pinned down. We had our gimme flag, which is E, which is the flag closest to us, and it's raining infantry players. As I saw somebody on the mini-map looked up, said, oh, wait a minute, that's a leg sticking out, I think. So gave that a little poke. Went to C, which is not my traditional breakout. Usually go to D, which is a 2v2, 2 tanks versus 2 tanks breakout. C, we got the burn very easily. We capped it, but then I was stuck. Infantry were trickling in, taking little pop shots at my tank with an RPG or a SRAW, and then making it tough for me to get out of there because position is everything. If infantry have a good position on you, if it's more than one, they could tear you up. Remember, a rear shot with an RPG is well over 55 damage. And then the way the tank sits, you can't just turn your turret. The base of your tank won't turn because you're critical disabled. As I'm trying to pillar here with the structure, you got to turn your turret, and then you can't even hit them, especially if they go prone. So a tank's only as strong as the infantry that are around him. And whenever you see a tank, try to help him out. Don't bottle up. Spread out. D is probably one of the hardest spots to ever tank on because it's in the wide open. And what do we have around us? We have a big hill in front of us. Beyond D that I'm looking at now. We have a big hill right here to my left, which is tough for the angle for my turret. Then, of course, they only had to expose their upper body, their head, to get their RPG, small, or straw. Of course, Javelin, they're going to be sitting there, which make them a little bit easier of a target, but allows me to back up. And then I've got buildings and hills to my right. So whenever you're helping out your tank or your piece of armor, try to spread out as quick as possible, unless that flag is burning. If they get the cap, then they can spawn bomb. And this team got smart. At first, we're rolling up once we got out of C, and there's a couple squishy targets. Recons at distance can't do anything to a tank. Assault class can't do anything to a tank unless you want to lob a nade or a noob tube and just kind of tickle it. And of course, supports really are only dangerous if they're up close. And engineers are dangerous if they get a good angle, or they're up close if they have slams or mines. So I'm going to do everything in my power to kind of maintain this position, but keep changing my line of sight on the various vehicles and different hills. When I change my pattern of movement, I'm not really predictable anymore, even though I have to hang back on this side of the flag for the most part, because they have a pesky jet, which made several passes on me that I cut out because in traditional jet fashion, they make a pass, you pop APS, you've got half health, you heal up, and rinse and repeat as much as possible. But if a jet is making a strafe on you, you're not going to be able to hit it with the main shell. Just get out and give them the old RPG to the face. And that's probably the best thing to do. Just bait them into that sense of security that they can make a long strafe on you. If it's a deep strafe, they're not going to be able to be on you very long. But if it's a shallow strafe like that, they can really light you up, especially if your APS is down. And here's where the enemy team starts wising up and just slamming me with engineer spam, support spam, and of course the Jeep stuff, which will be making a couple appearances very shortly. Now let's talk about the HMG and why I like it. Number one, it just destroys infantry at range, but think about anything that can hold Jeep stuff on this map. There's quite a few vehicles. It can disable them, it could kill them, and it could be the final blow or the starting blow. So I switched to HMG here, and I am going to finish this kill. No hit markers. Well, it's empty. I still want to kill it because somebody might be pillaring it. They might be hiding behind it. And the explosive damage, if they're really close or if they're hurt and a little bit distance away, it will kill them. And yet again, we have another tank sneaking up. So I need to find some cover. But I'm going to take one more shot, and then I'm going to use what's left of this building, which this whole area is simply in shambles. So you'll see a lot of times I just don't stand there and shoot. The reason why is I don't want to be an easy target. A moving target is a lot harder to hit than an easy target. Knowing I'm running HE, I do more damage per shot than the Sabos, and of course, anything else that you can equip for your primary. I've talked about this before. The DPS isn't the highest. If I went shot for shot, no cover, shot for shot with a different rate of fires as some Jeep stuff makes an appearance right there, try to set it down on us, I will lose that battle. But as long as I have cover, and I can pick and choose when I want to take my shot, I hit like a truck. And here's more Jeep stuff. I could stick with the HMG, but of course, the primary just makes it so much more pretty and then more dramatic, right? So pulling back up because they are on burn, and I want to get them off of that. When we first started this round, I said, oh my god, we've got C, We don't even have E, our gimme. It took us about a minute and a half to get our gimme once we initially had it. Like, we're just going to get throttled. I'm going to be stuck at C. I'm not going to be able to get out. And this is the beauty of this map once you get D. It kind of controls the flow of the map. You've got a clean pass to E, your gimme. You've got a clean pass to B. Then, of course, you've got easy access to C. The more flags you have open, the more flags you have under your control, the more angles and the crossfire and the pressure that you can put on the enemy team. If you ever get holed up in Conquest, it's the worst thing ever because then their AA is set up on this map, then both their tanks are set up, then their engineers and snipers are just shooting down on you, and you can never move. Your infantry can't advance, and if your infantry can't advance, you most certainly cannot advance. And remember, again, a piece of armor is only as strong as the infantry around it, and they most certainly complement each other as more Jeep stuff makes an appearance. And I actually had to back off D. That's how hot it got, because you never want to split the enemies. And that's what's happening there. They got on my right, and they got on my left. Even though the turret speed is quicker on PC than it is on console, it's really hard if you got enemies all around you. And there you see two different locks. Not just a handheld, but maybe a PLD up on a tower, which could be very problematic for me, along with another ATV. So I'm going to cede D. I'm going to give it to them because it's just too hot. If you're surrounded, it's just too much for you as a primary, then, of course, your gunner. There is no safe side to repair. There is no safe spot to back up, but I don't want them to keep D. So we're going to try to make one last pass at this. Maybe take a couple guys down. And this is another nice little spot I like to get to. If they start getting up in this hill and you don't have the infantry support, just back up. Then you have somewhat of an angle from them. And then, of course, if your infantry are pushing on the right, they can't step over that hill. They're just going to get shot. Help develop those crossfire angles. So I repair. We still don't have D, but we're kind of in a comfortable lead here. Just sticking with the HMG. APS, because it's a pile of NGs. Maybe didn't need it there. Might have saved my ass here in a couple seconds. But whenever you see a pile of NGs or you're coming onto a flag where they just took it with a pile of NGs and just forced you off of it, pre-fire that APS. What's the worst thing that can happen, right? You're going to survive. Now the jet's making a pass at me, and that's going to be all she wrote. As always, YouTubers, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this epic run with the tank on D, playing some Rogue Transmission. And that right there, the angle, is everything. Almost max damage right there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you soon.